anyways. So, Mindy's live is running a little bit over, so I'm just going to sit here and chit chat to myself for a while and see if anybody files in. If not, I will just talk to myself and leave this up for anybody to watch on the replay. People will come. What's that movie? Or no, it wasn't a movie. It was on The Office when they went to that conference. No, was it a movie or was it The Office? And they were going to have a party in their hotel room and nobody came. And they had all the liquor and everything out. And someone finally walked in and they were like, "Yeah, people have been filing in and out all night." But really, nobody came. Hopefully, somebody will really come. Oh, Jennifer's here. Good. Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for coming because I was sitting here by myself. I was feeling kind of lonely. Um, so tonight I am working on my joint venture that I'm doing with Mindy. The what is it called? I can never remember. Sunday Morning in Spring from Dreamer Designs, and I am not any further along than last we met. In fact, I'm still working on the same section that I opened up last time we did a live, and I'm still missing drills over here in the previous section because I bumped over because I had just a few left to go. And I did that while we were working together. And then also because I'm all out of R's. So I need to get working on this. And oh, Margaret's here too. Hi, Margaret. Resting and lurking. Will you rest? I don't blame you. Rest, rest, rest. I wish I was resting. I'm having kind of a heck of a week. I haven't really been feeling well all week. Just some digestive issues. I have IBS-D and it acts up from time to time. And I do have medication for it, but it still sometimes can be problematic. And so I've been dealing with that. And then I've got, I don't know if it's allergies or a head cold or whatever, but I'm very sniffly snuffly. So hopefully that's not going to be too annoying to everybody that I'm so sniffly snuffly. But I'm very sniffly snuffly tonight. And I'm going to, hey, Jody's here. Hey, how you doing, Jody? I was just saying how I haven't been feeling real well this week, and I haven't hardly talked to Jody at all. Usually I talk to Jody every day, and I haven't talked to anybody. I want to show you guys, though, vintage of the night. It's the same vintage it usually is, but I went to the refrigerator because Jeff gets my wine for me for my Saturday nights. Look at the size of this bottle of wine that he got me. I don't know if he's trying to get me drunk and take advantage of me or what, but he's really, oh, you've been sniffly and headache too, Margaret? Yeah, I have a bad headache, super sniffly, head cold. Maybe this wine will help me feel better. We're going to pour this whole solo cup. Am I the only person you know that comes on here and drinks wine out of a solo cup? I probably am. I don't care. It's easy and stable. Oops, you did not hear that clank against the empty bottle that was already on my floor that I didn't clean up from last time. Ah. But that's exactly what that noise was, yes. Okay. Woo, that was a big drink. It kind of gave me a little bit of a shiver. Haven't had a drink in a while. So, when's the last time I've talked to you guys? It's been a while. It has been a couple of weeks because I did not go live last Saturday. I had intended to. So last Saturday I had told everybody I was going to go live late. Well, what happened was we went to Austin's show. Austin's final show of the tour that he was out on was in Pontiac, Michigan last weekend. And we were going to go to the show, and then my intention was to come home from the show and go live late. Well, his band was the headlining band, and they didn't end up starting to play until 10:30. And Pontiac's an hour and a half away from home. So we didn't get home until 2 o'clock in the morning. So even though some of you night owls might have still been up, I was exhausted and I did not, I just went right to bed. You have to have a wine glass, Margaret. It's fine to be a snob. You be a snob. That's fine. Um, I think if I was drinking good wine, I'd probably insist on a wine glass. But since I'm drinking probably the cheapest wine that's on the market, I can I can safely use my solo cup. The thing is, I'm a little bit of a klutz, and I'm always afraid if I have a wine glass here with a stem here in my craft room around my diamond painting when I'm moving everything around, I'm always afraid that I'm going to knock it off the table or the counter or the ledge or whatever, wherever I have it sitting. So it just, I think, I don't remember what happened, why I grabbed a solo cup instead of a regular glass one day. Maybe one day all of our glasses were dirty, but then it just became a thing that I always drink my wine out of a solo cup when I do my lives. Now, if I'm drinking wine and I'm not doing a live, which that doesn't ever happen really. Yeah, when I'm doing lives, the only time I drink wine. So, yep, I always drink my wine out of a solo cup. If I was really really um what do I want to say? A bum, I could just leave it in the bag and drink it out of the bottle. That would, that would probably be as if I really wanted to get get down and dirty with it. But anyway, so Austin show. You guys, I was so impressed. Oh, you're working on the shawl, Jody? Cool. That's awesome. Hi, Catherine. How are you? Oh, Jennifer, you got to have your wine in a wine glass too. I'm sorry if I'm offending you. Oh well, I can't. I can't. I just can't. All right, so here was the deal with this tour. Austin was asked to tour with this band whose original members could not go on tour. Original bass player could not go on tour. So they asked Austin to fill in. So he went on tour for 2 weeks. They went throughout the southeast United States, and he was gone for 2 weeks, and I stayed with Maddie that 2 weeks. And their last show was back here in Michigan, and at the end of that show, he asked Austin to permanently be in the band. So that's pretty cool, except that now he has to go back on tour for 2 weeks starting in April. And well, I told you guys that because I told you he was going to California and Arizona and stuff like that. But then after the April tour, there's another tour in July, and I think that one's even out of the country. I think they're traveling to Europe, in Japan for that show. So we went to the show in Pontiac, and I was quite taken aback because, I expected, I've been to Austin's shows before because he's been in multiple bands, and he's a very talented musician, both a drummer and a bass player. Not at the same time, obviously. But they're not big name acts. You know what I mean? They're just, local bands, I would say. So I was very, very surprised when we went to this show, and the band that he was playing with, there were people rushing the stage, there were mosh pits going on, everybody in the crowd was screaming the words to the songs they were playing. So apparently they're, a known popular band, and I didn't even know. So Austin's a little bit of a celebrity now, I guess. So I'm pretty proud of him. Hey, Dawn, how's it going? Yes, Margaret. Well, you be you, I'll be me. We'll both be wonderful. Exactly. Exactly. Tolerance for all. I believe in that firmly. Oh, Jody's working on the shawl. Awesome. My shawl is still sitting. I haven't done anything else on it. If you want to know what Jody's talking about, We do a crochet along with Mindy on Fridays on her channel, and we're making a shawl. And this is the beginnings of my shawl. I love it. I love the colors. I think it's so pretty. And I think I really will use this one. Some shawls I finish and I think, yeah, I'll never use that. But this being that it's the cotton and I love the colors, I think it'll go great with like a white t-shirt and some light wash blue jeans. Yeah, like it a lot. Hey Sherry, how are you? And Joe's here too. Hi Joe. And the other Joe, both Joes are here. And Sue, hi Sue. How is Sue? I miss you, Sue. I haven't talked to you lately. I haven't talked to you in a while. I have been so busy. I was busy at Maddie's for 2 weeks, and then I came home and I've been sick all week this week. I haven't talked to anybody. I've just been nursing myself. Do you guys get like that? I am the biggest baby when I am sick. When I am sick, I completely cannot function. I turn into a sniveling little, I want my mommy baby. So can you guys, how are you guys? How do you handle it when you're sick? Can you tough it out and suck it up and get the job done? Or do you curl up into a ball and hide from the world until you feel better? Because I definitely am the latter. I definitely do not cope well when I'm sick. I wish I could. Mary Lou's here too. And Sean. Joe, of course you can be that way sometimes because I'm sorry to say, I'm going to be sexist here. Men are babies when they're sick, in my experience. Both my ex-husband and my current husband, when they were sick, babies, complete babies. And I'm a baby when I'm sick. I'm not throwing shade without admitting it to myself. But yeah, it's been rough. It's been a rough week. It's been a rough week. Yes, Jody, exactly. Yeah, I'm sorry, Joe. I knew I was gonna get called out on that one. I knew I would get something back from you on that one. Jody, I'm with you. I can take surgeries, pain, hospitalization, that kind of stuff, but if I've got the sniffles or a cold or whatever, I am just down for the count. Down for the count. Ugh. Mary Lou, I have to go to work sick or well. That sucks. That sucks. I would not be able to handle that. I always did kind of have the philosophy though, well, okay, so I had two major jobs when I worked for the city. I kind of switched careers midway through my life. I started what I went to college for. I was an accounting major. And so when I started my career at the city, I worked at City Hall and I worked in the purchasing department. I was the purchasing agent for the city that I live in. And so I did all of I bought everything from toilet paper to snow plows to Zambonis to, sewer pipes to cleaning supplies. I did all of the bids and the requisitions and purchased everything that the city needed to, office supplies, everything. So I did that for a number of years, and then there came an opening at the police department in the evidence section, and it sounded very, very interesting. And I was friends with the chief of police at the time, and I asked him, what would be the chances that you would be willing to put me through the training necessary to be able to do that job, and that I could transfer over. And he was like, yeah, I think we could do it. I think you'd be great at that job. So I transferred over to the police department, and I finished out the second half of my career at the police department doing property and evidence management. And so when I worked in purchasing, I would definitely go to work sick because I wanted to save my sick and vacation time for vacation time. You know what I mean? I wanted to I wasn't going to waste it on being sick. I'd go into the office even if I felt like total dog do. But when I moved over to the police department, that was such a physically intense job that there was no way that I could do it sick. There was no way I could go in there if I was sick. So if I was sick, I definitely had to take a sick day because it was a lot of physical labor, and that's the last thing you feel like doing when you're sick is physical labor. Ah, it was a fun job though. I've got so many fun stories. I don't know if I've ever told the story about. I don't know. This might be a little bit touchy of a story. Maybe I shouldn't tell it here. Um, yeah, I can't tell it. It's a good story, but I can't tell it. Uh, I would get, yeah, it's sensitive in nature. And I've told my prostitution stories because I used to go out and pose undercover. Those were fun times. And I've got many drug bust stories. Oh, tons of drug bust stories. I was just telling Maddie about this one drug bust story we had. This was kind of hilarious. So I live in Michigan, and in Michigan, recreational marijuana is legal, and it is also legal to grow for personal use a certain number of marijuana plants. But back when this story had happened, that was not the case, and marijuana growing and distribution and consumption and possession was illegal. This was even before we had medical marijuana laws. So we get a call, or they get a call, and I get called in because of the nature of the incident. I get called in to go and recover property evidence, and we get a call that this guy has called 911 because his girlfriend, who is a stripper at the local strip club, brought some guys home after her shift ended while he was at work. So he was at work, her shift ended, she comes home, she brings home these guys. These guys discover that he has a marijuana grow operation in the basement, and these guys steal all this guy's marijuana plants. All right? So this genius decides the best thing to do in this situation is to dial 911 and say, yes, help, please help me. Someone just came and robbed me of all my marijuana. Which, not really smart. I mean, you have an illegal substance growing in your basement, and you want you want the police to come and help you because someone's stolen it? Not a very smart thing to do. So, needless to say, the guy gets arrested, and they did find the stuff and the guys who stole it, and it gets recovered and seized. But because he had so many plants, it was considered distribution, and all of his assets were seized for forfeiture for being the product of an illegal vice criminal activity. Which is why I was there, was to take all of this stuff. Okay? But can you imagine how stupid is this guy? How stupid is this guy that his drugs get stolen and he calls the police and says, help, somebody stole my drugs? I mean, how dumb is that? Super, super dumb. Super dumb. Ugh. Oh, Joe, you're lucky. Your husband wants to be left alone and fends for himself. When he's, so does mine. Mine does too, but he complains about it the whole time. He complains about it the whole way. Boy, Risa, you're sick too? Oh, man. Yeah, same with me, Dawn. I have chronic pain, and I just deal with it on a daily basis. And but give me a cold, and I'm out. I'm out. Oh, Jody, yeah, that would suck. If you lived in a. See, when I worked at the police department, because it was a secure location, because there was evidence there, nobody was allowed in my area except the two people who worked there. Me and my two part time people that worked there. And so, I could have gone to work sick, I guess, because I didn't really come in contact with anybody. But like I said, it was so physically intensive that so most of the time I couldn't cut it. But yeah, if you worked in an office with a lot of people in close quarters and somebody came into work sick, that would be highly, highly annoying. So what's everybody working on tonight? Is everybody still working on their chuck along canvas? Or what? Hey, Karen's here. Hi, Karen. And I didn't say hi to Risa either. Hi, Risa and Lisa. How are you? Judy's here too. Hi, Judy. Yeah, that's one for World's Dumbest Criminals. Definitely. Definitely. Joe's still working on Sanctuary. That one is so beautiful. Of course, Joe, that's one of the ones I have started. I think I started that for the last Chuck Along, and I didn't get it finished. And Mindy tonight was talking about someone who was doing. I gotta tell you guys, I did a thing. So I was at Maddie's, and I was in her craft room looking for some yarn, and I came across. This was a couple, maybe 3 years ago. Maddie and I were showing her Grandma Judy, which Maddie has talked about Grandma Judy quite a bit on the channel, so I'm sure that most of you have heard of her before. Had showed her grandma what diamond painting was all about. And she was really kind of fascinated by it, and she wanted to give it a try, but she had really bad vision problems. So she wouldn't have been able to see to do it, but she was really fascinated by it, and we were looking at different paintings. We were looking at Diamond Art Club, and at the time it was when one of the chuckalongs was just, I think it was the first or second, maybe the second one. So that'll give you a frame of reference for how long ago it was. Probably 2 years ago then. Um, but and she was looking at the Chuck Pinson diamond paintings that were for sale at Diamond Art Club. And she saw A Moment on Memory Lane, and she said, "Oh my, that looks just like the street I grew up on. That just with the cars in the road and everything, it looks just like the houses looked on the street I grew up on." And she absolutely fell in love with that. So Maddie and I decided that we were going to order it together, and we were going to work on it together and do it and give it to her to put up in her house. And so we did. We ordered it and we started working on it, but like the best of, everything with the best of intentions, we didn't quite get it finished before Grandma ended up having to go into a nursing home. And then, as you guys know, Grandma subsequently passed away last November. Was it November or December that she passed? Might have been December. November or December, I can't recall. Anyway, I was at Maddie's house. I was in her craft room, and I happened across the box that had the diamond painting in it. And I looked up at the top of the closet, and the drill containers were there. The storage containers were there with the drills. And I had a thought. So I'm not quite sure how Maddie's going to react to this, and I'm hoping that it's going to be a good reaction. So Maddie was at work. She had to go into the office that day. So I ran out to my car and I took that canvas and I took those drills and I hid them under a blanket in my car. And I brought them home with me. And I have been working on that pretty steadily since I've been home from Maddie's. And my idea is, because Maddie and Austin are going to be moving into Grandma Judy's house. So my idea is I'm going to finish that diamond painting and frame it and give it to them as a housewarming gift. So I'm hoping that she's going to think of it as a sentimental gesture and something kind and loving, and that she's not going to be upset that I stole it from her house and finished it without her. I'm still kind of on the fence over how she's going to feel about it. What do you guys think? How do you think she's going to feel about it? I'm hoping she's going to be happy and not upset. Maddie rarely gets upset with me, so I can't. I hope that she's going to like it. Hey, Brenda, how's it going? Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah, I think she'll like it. I think it's a good idea. I think she'll like it. I hope she'll like it. Dawn's working on Pisces. Jennifer's working on Chuck earlier, working on the shawl now. Cool. I need to start working on my shawl. Lisa's working on Strength Along the Journey. Beautiful. Joe's halfway done, putting it aside at the end of the month. All right, Joe. Hey, Sue, how's it going? Sherry's working on Woodland Oasis. Judy's not doing Chuck Along, but working on Space for Reflection. Jeff did Space for Reflection, so we have that one here at the house. That's a beautiful one. Yeah, I think she'll be thankful. I think that she'll like it because I don't feel like it's one that I don't feel like she would have gotten back to it, because for her, grandma's memory is still pretty raw emotionally. And her and I are very much the same. Let me ask you guys, okay, if you had to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not sentimental at all and 10 being the most sentimental, where would you rate yourself? Because Maddie and I are both very we're ones. Her and I are both ones when it comes to that. We don't show a lot of emotion. We don't kind of, we're just not very sentimental. Sherry's a 10, Jody's a 12. You are a 12, Jody, that's for sure. I agree with that. Judy's right in the middle at a 5. Margaret's a 10. Dawn's a 9. Jennifer's a 3. I can see that. Brenda says definitely a gooey 10. Joe, you're an 8? Really? Okay. Sean's a 2. Yeah, we're not very we're not very sentimental or emotional or anything. So it takes a lot to get our feelings going. So I'm hoping that I can get her feelings going with doing that for her. And I'm about, has anybody done a moment on memory lane? Did I say Strength Along the Journey? I meant a moment on memory lane. Has anybody here done that one? It's so confetti heavy. I did not. It is like insanely confetti. At least the parts that I'm working on at the moment. I was surprised. I was actually quite surprised. So this is kind of a nice, this one is confetti heavy as well, but I expect it. You own it but haven't done it, Joe? It is very pretty. I kind of want to get it for myself now that I've seen it. It's got so many orange ABs. And you guys know how I feel about orange, and it's just got a ton of orange ABs. Oh, you're working on it for Chuck Along, Jennifer? How far along are you? Are you just about done, or? I'm not going to finish. You guys saw how, well, no, you didn't, because I did get a little bit farther. So I quit working on Country Blessing, and I started working on Strength Along the Journey because I keep saying Strength Along the Journey, a moment on memory lane. I wanted to get it finished because I don't remember if I told you or not, but Maddie did get, because they're moving up back up here to Saginaw and they're moving into Grandma's house. So she had to get a new job. So she started applying to jobs and she had an interview at one a few weeks ago. No, it was while I was down there, so 2 weeks ago. And she got hired. And so they wanted her to start in 2 weeks. So she put in her 2 weeks at her old job and she starts her new job up here on Monday. But Grandma's house is not anywhere near ready to move into. So she is going to move up here and be staying with us here at our house. And Austin's going to stay down at their house until their lease is up, which is the end of May. So I never thought that I would be the parent who would have the adult child that moves back home. I just didn't see that happening for me. But now I am that parent that has their adult child moving back home. And it's kind of a weird feeling. So tomorrow, Jeff and Nate and I are going to spend the day completely moving from his stuff that he needs from his one bedroom to his other bedroom. He's got 2 rooms. One of them he uses primarily for a gaming room, but he does sleep in there. And the other one just has his bed and his clothes in it. But he's going to have to move permanently to his gaming room until Maddie moves back out. So I got my adult child coming home. And then I think I told you guys, I'm sure I did, that what was going on with Emily, that poor Emily is separated from her husband now, and they're going to be going their separate ways. So she's going through that. So there's a lot of upheaval right now in my family. Right, Jennifer. Yeah. It is heavy confetti, but it's round, so it's not too bad. You only have 4 sections left. That's awesome. So that was why I was trying to work solely on that because I wanted to have that finished before she got up here because I didn't want her to see it because I want it to be a surprise. But I did not quite get it finished. So I'll have to pack it away and I'll just work on it during the day while she's gone at work and pack it away, at night when she's home. Joe pointed out last time we were live that I was missing some drills in this other section over here and I had told you guys I ran out of R's. Well, guess what? Now I ran out of X's too. So now I have 2 colors that I've run out of on this painting. So I'm glad that it's almost Mindy's turn. In fact, we were talking yesterday and we're trying to set up a date where we can get together and exchange this diamond painting so she can have her turn with it. But she's got so much going right now with helping her sister out that I don't know when that's going to be. But I want to at least get these sections that I'm working on finished up. I don't want to give it back to her when I'm, mid-section. That would be rude. Am I missing drills there? Yes. I'm missing 2 A's over there. I'm getting to the end of the section and where you're just finding all those little where you're missing one here and there. So I'm going to be moving drill containers around a lot. Don't you hate that? Oh, there's another one I'm missing. Another A. Now where'd those go? There they are. I would be awfully embarrassed if I gave this back to her and there were drills missing from sections that I missed. Oh, Greg had to move back home, Jody? Yeah, I've not had a kid. I've not had an adult kid that's had to move back home yet. This will be my first time. And I'm not sure how to take it. Jeff's afraid that she's going to eat us out of house and home because she has second dinner, and you know how Maddie eats. She eats a lot. So I just, before Mindy's live, which wasn't that a great live, I really, really, really enjoy when Chuck Pinson comes on. Um, he is just such a genuinely enjoyable person to listen to. Uh, just such a down to earth, normal sounding guy. It's really nice to hear his process and see what he's working on. I love his art so, so much. I'm missing more A's. Yeah, Sherry, it was, wasn't it? It was a really, really good live. It's awesome that he takes the time to do that for us. Because he doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to take time out of his life and his weekend and his Saturday with his family to come on and talk to us, but he does every time, and it's very, very nice. And he always sounds so humble and so, you know, genuinely appreciative that his art is appreciated. It's really very. He's just such a genuine guy. It makes me like his art even more. I think the fact that he's a nice guy. Like if he was a jerk, I'd probably still like his art, but it's just a little added something. Yes, Mindy made us cry. I was even tearing up, and I don't cry. I just told you guys I'm under emotional. I don't know what it is, but I'm missing some gene or some bone or something, and I don't have that crying gene. If you ever hear me tear up, it's something big, and I was tearing up. So, um, but yeah. So, did anybody buy anything today? Anybody get any new releases today? I did not. I have to say that I have not been tempted in several weeks. And I'm wondering what the heck is going on. Am I and I know that I'm not losing my zest for diamond painting because I am diamond painting a lot more lately than I was probably 6 months ago. So I'm not losing my zest for it at all. It's just that I have not seen any new releases recently that I have been all like really crazy about. And I don't know what the deal is with that. All right, you guys, I've got a problem. I have a color I can't find anywhere. Oh, there it is. Just found it. Good deal. Good deal. All right, I'm missing 2 of these. Jess, this is a square. This one is a square. This is that. It's called Sunday Afternoon in Spring from Dreamer Designs. It's the one that's 180 by 60 centimeters. And I'd like to think I have a fair amount done, but in the grand scheme of things, not really. Not really. All right, I think we have that. Oh, no, I'm missing some 6s. I've got to find the 6s. 6s, where are you? And then, not only am I feeling sick, but I as well, somebody mentioned chronic pain. I as well suffer from chronic pain from some back, hip, and pelvic floor issues, and I've mentioned a little bit about it before. But I take prescription pain medication, and insurance is such that I can't refill my prescription until 3 days. It has to be within 3 days of the of 30 since I've refilled it last time. Well, my prescription ran out today, and I forgot to call on Friday because my doctor's office is only open half a day on Friday. I forgot to call and request my refill. So I am without pain meds today. So my back and my hips are like absolutely screaming at me right now as I'm sitting here. Absolutely screaming, which is another good reason to try drinking the wine. Try a little bit of liquid liquid pain relief. See if that takes the edge off. Catherine didn't buy anything. Oh, Sherry, you got the Bluebird in the Daisy Meadow is gorgeous. I've done that one from Craftably. It's gorgeous. Very gorgeous. Joe got two. Got Drawn to the Light and The Food Thief. Drawn to the Light. I think that was the only one that I was remotely interested in. Was that one. Oh, thank you, Brenda. Yeah, nobody else bought anything. Oh, thanks, Dawn. Yeah, it sucks so bad. Yeah, Jess, I do have one of those cushions. It's the kind that have the cutout for your tailbone to hang down. And I take that thing everywhere I go. I have one for my butt, and then I also have one for the floor so I can raise my knees up. Because that seems to help a little bit to not have my legs, like at that angle. So I have a cushion that I put on the floor, and it raises so my legs are more level, and that seems to help a little bit too. So I bring those into, I'm in my craft room tonight. I bring those into my craft room when I'm working, and that does tend to help, a little bit. But it can only help so much when if anybody who's ever dealt with that kind of pain knows that when your body has grown accustomed to taking medication for pain and then you don't, it is it's a hard reality. It's like it's a big punch in the chest. Yeah, Jennifer, exactly. Yes, there's a reason why they have to do it, and I understand that. Um, and I'm not mad at the process. I'm mad at myself because I'm the one who forgot to call. It was my fault. So now I gotta wait until Monday, which means I'll get my prescription on Tuesday. Which, oh well, I'll just be grouchy until then. Damn it. But it'll all work out in the end. It'll all work out at the end. Yeah, and the thing I don't appreciate though is I don't leave the house. You guys know this. Jeff is the one who picks up my prescription for me. He picks up all of my prescriptions. I take other prescriptions for other, chronic conditions that I have, and I take quite a bit of medication actually. So I don't just take the pain medication. I take medication for my bladder, and other, and for my IBSD, and other things. So it's not as if he's going there just to pick up pain medication. He's picking up all my medication. Every time he goes to pick up my prescriptions, he says they treat him like he's like stealing my, like he's a drug addict or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He just feels weird about it. And I get that. But I think that there's such a stigma on that sort of thing. And not that it's not rightly so. Not that there's not a problem and a national epidemic, but there are people who legitimately utilize medication in the correct way, and not everybody should be penalized for it. Oh, Jody, that would be awesome. Yeah, you can get emergency supply by the pharmacist would be amazing, but I don't know if we have. I've never asked. I don't know. We might have that here. But Canada, I think, has a better system in place, I guess, for, I don't know. I think Canada has a better system in place as far as healthcare is concerned. Ooh, Brenda, methadone and Percocet. There was an issue. Yep. Yeah. Yes, Dawn. Exactly. They treat Jeff like he's a drug seeker when he goes to pick up my prescriptions, and he hates picking it up because he's like, dude, it's not even for me. I'm picking it up for my wife. You know. But he always feels like a drug seeker when he goes in there. Oh, cold turkey. Yes, I can't even imagine. Yikes. Hey, Carol, how's it going? Oh, Sean, your pharmacy would also give you a couple days. Maybe I'll call the pharmacy tomorrow and see what they say. Because it's to the point where it's constantly mentally distracting. You know what I mean? Like, I can't really get my mind off of it and concentrate on anything. Oh. I'm so sorry about my sniffles, you guys. It's awful. It's awful. So I have a video that I made earlier today that I'm going to put out either tonight or tomorrow. And it is about an event that I'm going to be co-sponsoring in April. So I hope you guys will participate in the event. I kitted up my kit for it for earlier today, and I'm super excited. It's going to be called Mystery Mania, and we're going to do mystery diamond paintings. And it's going to be so much fun. It's me and Mindy and Maritza are all co-hosting it. And we're going to hold it on Facebook. It's going to be a Facebook event. So if you're in Mindy and Maritza's Facebook group, that's where we're going to post the progress photos and pick the winners for the weekly prizes and the grand prize. So there will be weekly prizes and grand prizes. And the fun thing that we're going to do, because it's a mystery event, the prizes are going to be mystery prizes too. So we're not going to tell you what the prizes are. But the grand prize is pretty sweet. So it's a pretty awesome grand prize. So if you have a mystery kit, I hope that you guys will join in. And the way we're going to do it, because someone had a very good question about posting progress pics and not wanting to see the whole picture of the whole canvas in case they have that kit in their stash and they don't want to know what the canvas is. So what we're going to have you do is, when you post your progress pictures, we're going to have you take a very, very close up picture of the section that you completed for the week. And that way nobody will be able to tell, what the complete painting is. So I'm super excited about it. I'm going to be doing this one. I have it right here. Oh. I am going to be doing this one. It is the David McLean landscape. It's 98 by 70. Can you believe it? So this is one of the newer charted ones where they put the writing and the different colored spaces on the background so that you can't tell what it is when you look at it. And I have no idea what it is. I have resisted all temptation to search this out. And Sue, don't do it for me. Don't do it for me. Don't tell me what it is, because Sue loves to. Jody almost tried to. Jody almost tried to ruin that one for me, but I didn't let her. Okay, let me go back and read the chat. Jennifer said when her wrist was broken, they wouldn't let your hubby pick up your meds. Oh my gosh, are you kidding? And they still gave you a hard time. Ugh, that's crazy. Oh, 1:20 a.m., Carol. Yikes. Go to bed. Why can't you participate, Jody? You can do a new start, or you don't. It doesn't have to be a new start. It can be one that you've already started, as long as you have a 30 by 40 centimeter section left that hasn't been worked yet. You can use it. So it doesn't have to be a new start. So break that sucker out and join in. You should join in because the prizes are really good. And if you're going to do it anyways, come on, just all you got to do is show a little bit of progress every week. Put a few drills on every week. Won't hurt nothing. It's going to be fun. It's going to be so fun. I know for a fact that I am not going to get a 98 by 70 diamond painting done in a month. There's no way I'm going to get that done in a month. I had such high hopes. I was rolling along with Country Blessings so hard and thinking for Chuck Along I was going to get that sucker done, but at this point I'm going to have to put it away and I'll use it again for next Chuck Along in September, because I'd say I got about, I would say I'm very, very close to the halfway point with Chuck Along, with Country Blessing, which I think is pretty good. Because that's a big one too. Isn't that one like 93 by 70, I want to say? It's quite a large one. And I still need to figure out how I'm going to change the sky to get rid of that rainbow, because I don't want that rainbow. No, it does not have to be a new start. Not at all. Oh, Catherine, you're going to do the Craftably one. That's cool. Now, Mindy was showing me the Craftably mystery kit, and that's very interesting the way they did their background. I think I would like that a lot better. Their background, also, you can't tell what the, you can't see the image behind the drill symbols. But they did it by making it like a, oh gosh, how do I want to say? It's like an ombre effect of colored background. And so that looks really, really neat. This one, who said, somebody said, how do you think it will be on your eyes? Who said that? Brenda. Yeah, I worry about that with this one. I'm going to put this one real close to the camera, and I want you to see what that looks like. I think that that's going to make my eyes go buggy, because it's not the same, like all these orange backgrounds aren't the same drill. You know what I mean? They're not the same. I think I'm going to have a hard time with this. I really, really do. So I'm excited about it because I'm excited to see what it is, and I'm excited for the mystery. But on the other hand, I'm a little bit leery leery of it. I'm a little bit scared of it. I did kit it up today, and I was very surprised by the colors in this one. I can tell it's not going to be like a fall painting. Um, it's got a lot of pinks and purples. Um, it does have some oranges, so maybe there will be some fall foliage somewhere. But it also has like a lot of pinks and purples and blues. So I'm genuinely just really curious to see what it's going to be. And Jody and Sue are not going to tell me. No, Sherry, there's no size requirement at all. No, no. Hey, Caden's here. Hi, Caden. There's no size requirement at all for it. Just 30 by 40 is, I guess that's the size requirement. 30 by 40 centimeter. So it can be, a kit from Amazon or wherever. Hey, Anonymous is here too. Oh, you think I can finish it, Sue? You think I can get that? I'm not as fast as you. Sue finished her Chuck. I saw her post her Sweet Life. I have the Sweet Life hanging up in my living room. It's framed and hanging in my living room. That's probably my favorite Pinson so far that I've done is a Sweet Life. I love that one. It's so pretty. When I finish Country Blessing, I'm going to put that one on the opposite wall in my living room. But I still need to figure out a way to get rid of that rainbow. I just really don't want that rainbow in there. And I'm not real good at, you know what I think I might do actually, is there are people who are very, very good at making changes to diamond paintings. And so I think I might take it with me to the retreat and enlist the help of a friend or two to help me to place the different background color where the sky or where the rainbow would have been and make it just plain sky. I also just ordered and I got in the mail, and I wish I meant to bring them in here to show them to you guys. I placed an order from DP with Sparklers, and I got a bunch of new sparklers, and I got some slivers and some metallics, and some really cool colors I was going to go through that order with you and show you. But I left it in the other room, so we'll have to do it next time. What number is it? I don't know, Sue. It doesn't say on the box. It just says Mystery Kit Landscape, David McLean. It doesn't tell you what number it is on the box. Jennifer, I'm not sure. Oh, Sean, that's awesome. Oh, Carol, you're having hand surgery Friday? I'm so sorry. I hope that all goes well for you. That doesn't sound like fun at all. No surgeries sound like fun. Speaking of surgeries, I'm a little bit apprehensive. I have got a consultation coming up with a surgeon. You guys know I had that colorectal surgery back in September. Well, things are not exactly going to plan with that, as far as just things are not happening the way they should. And so I have to go see another surgeon on the 5th, a different specialist, and I may have to have another surgery, which is really going to put a monkey wrench in my summer. And my plans, because I've got a lot of stuff planned for this summer. I've got the retreat in end of June, beginning of July. You know, we've got the pool opening. I plan on having a big garden this year. I want to get baby chicks again this summer. We did not get baby chicks this past spring because we had all of our hens were still around and kicking from the previous spring. So we didn't get any new baby chicks last spring, but we have since we lost two hens in the fall, and then this past week we lost two more hens to a predator. So we're down four hens. So we're only getting about four eggs a day at this point, and I would really like to get about 8 to 10 eggs a day. So I would like to get some baby chicks this spring. And baby chicks, when you get them, depending on how you get them, I prefer to get them from a hatchery. You order them. This is really interesting. If you guys don't know there's a place. It's called Murray McMurray Hatchery. Okay, and it's online. And you go online and you pick the breed because there are just like there are hundreds of breeds of dogs, there are literally hundreds of breeds of chickens, and each breed has different attributes and different qualities. There are meat chickens, there are egg laying chickens, there are brown egg layers, green egg layers, white egg layers. There are ones that are genetically crossed so that they get very plump breasts for for meat. Uh, there are friendlier chickens than others. Then you have your exotic breeds, the Polishes that have the big pom poms on their heads, and then your Brahmas that have the feathered feet. Um, there's hundreds of breeds of chicken. So, hey, Lisa Brown, hello. Uh, last line, last numbers. Last line, it does last line, last numbers. Oh, MYS 33. Does that help, Sue? MYS 33. So, I am going to order some chicks. But when you order from the hatchery, they mail you the baby chickens. Yes, you heard me correctly. They mail you baby chickens in the US mail. You open your mailbox and you have live baby chickens. Yes. Well, probably not in your mailbox because chances are you're ordering more than the box won't fit in your mailbox, so they bring it to your door. But nonetheless, they bring you in the mail live baby chickens. And when you get them, they're day old. So they're very, very teeny, very, very fragile, and they have to be under a heat lamp. They've got to be like at least 75 degrees. They can't really be in a draft. You have to start them out with sugar water. You got to introduce them to food. It's a little bit of a thing when you get them in the mail like that. So if we do get baby chicks, I need to be on my A game to be able to get them started and integrated into the coop with the bigger chickens. So I can't be recovering from another surgery and doing that, and I can't be recovering from another surgery and be doing the retreat. So I'm hoping that if I do have to have another surgery, it can be scheduled around, like maybe I can wait till the fall and do it in the fall because I'm not ready for another surgery. Not at all. All right, Brenda, I'll see ya. Oh no, Brenda, I am so sorry to hear that. Aw. I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope that everything works out. Oh, you don't have number 33, Sue? I thought you and I both had that. You have some X battery chickens once. X battery chickens. I don't know what kind those are. X battery. I'm going to have to look that up. Sean, they do not usually all make it. They say that you should, 10% aren't going to make it. So basically, if you want 10, you should order 11. They basically say that they'll experience 10% loss in shipment. But when we do that, we usually order like 50. So, you know. Yeah, our chickens are farmers only keep them for so long, so some charities rescue them first. Oh, okay. Yeah, we only keep our chickens until they stop laying. Once they stop laying, they're useless. We used to get meat birds, but meat birds are weird. We got these genetically modified birds that were supposed to gain weight very rapidly, and so they could be slaughtered, you know, relatively young and have a large amount of meat on them. And these birds were the grossest chickens I have ever seen in my life. They were like mutants. They grew so fat, so fast, that they literally could not stand on their legs. All they would do was eat 24/7. They would belly up to the feeder and just lay there and eat. And it was disgusting. They were gross, ugly, horrible birds. We'll never get those again. And we used to, do meat birds, but we don't do meat birds anymore. We only do egg birds now. Um, just because the whole slaughter process is kind of a big ordeal. And you really, if you're going to do it on any sort of a scale, you need to have like a plucker and a boiler for dipping to get, before you pluck their feathers off. And you kind of need to have a lot of equipment. And, we just didn't want to put that kind of investment towards it. And then you got to clean them all and all that, gut them and clean them and all that stuff right away and get them processed and frozen. And it was just, you got to have a separate freezer to keep them all in. It was just a lot of work. So you could take them to a processor. Like if you wanted to load them all up live and take them to a processor, we do have a local processor. But that's expensive. And so, anything you saved by raising your own birds was quickly taken up in paying to have them processed. It's a lot like hunting. Like it costs, okay, so for deer hunting, you can get about 150 pounds of meat processed per deer for a good sized deer. It costs you $50 to $75 for a deer license just to go hunting. Then it costs you probably $15 in ammo, I'm going to say. Then it costs you about $150 for processing. So at the end of it all, you're paying a lot to just to hunt, you know what I mean? It's still cheaper than paying grocery store prices for meat, don't get me wrong. But it's not like free meat like you would think, you would want to think it is. Yeah, Dawn, we do sell the eggs. We actually have we give eggs to many of our family and friends, and then we do have a couple of people at work, at Jeff's work, that he takes the eggs to work and sells them. And everybody's always looking for eggs. I mean, we never have a shortage of people who want eggs. That's never a problem. And especially with the way egg prices are right now in the grocery stores, we never have a shortage of that. The only problem is with getting new baby chicks is, let's say we got them the 1st of April, they're not going to start laying until they're, what, Mindy, about 20, 22 weeks old. So they're not going to start laying until the end of September, would that be? So you got, I mean, it's a long time, but then they lay for what, about 5 years, I want to say a hen will lay productively. And after that, she's, pretty much no good for laying anymore. Oh yeah, ringing the neck. You were traumatized by the neck ringing. We actually had a little bit more humane of a way. You put two nails in a stump, okay? Two nails fairly close to one another. Then you put their neck in between those nails and stretch it out, and then take an axe and chop the head off. And so that's a little bit more humane than wringing the neck. But it's all part of, the circle of life. Everybody eats chicken unless you're a vegetarian in here. Everybody's eating chicken. All part of the circle of life. Oh no, Mindy just spent an hour looking for her chickens. Where were your chickens, Mindy? Oh my goodness. You lost your chickens. Where did they go? Sean's a wimp. Everybody would be named and be a pet. That's funny. Yes, Mindy, that was a great live. It was a really, really great live. We were talking about that earlier. How he's just such an awesome human being. Like, he's just so genuine and humble, and it makes me like his art even more because he's a decent human being. Like, if he was an asshole, I'd probably still like his art, but I like it more because he's such a nice guy. If that makes any sense. Okay. I'm working on our painting, Mindy. Yeah, exactly, Jennifer. Hens are like humans. They only have so many eggs and then they're done. Yep, when they're done, they're done. They go through henopause. Ha ha, get it? Instead of menopause, they go through henopause. I just cracked myself up. I just came up with that. Oh, I'm working on our painting. This will probably be the last section that I get done before I pass this off. No, Kaden, this isn't the one that me and Maddie started. This is the one that Mindy and I are working on together. Oh my gosh, and am I working on the base of the lighthouse right now? I think I am. Uh-oh, Mindy. Mindy's going to be mad at me. Let me peel this back and see. I am. This is the last section I'll be working on, Mindy, before I give this back to you. So you can finish off the lighthouse. And then your lady is over here. Your lady, I'm not going to do your lady. So you'll have your lady to do. It's a good joke, right, Jennifer? They go through menopause. Yeah, okay, this one is the huge painting. Yep, and I'm trying to sneak in one more section before I pass it back off to Mindy. But I ran out of R's already. So I'm missing a bunch of R's over here she's going to have to fill in. And then I ran out of X's too in this section. So she's got some X's she'll have to fill in this section. I never thought I would get to the point where I would run out of a color while I had it. to know, Mindy, the stones, how does he make, do you think when he paints those cobblestones, do you think that he does them individually? I mean, because each cobblestone, if you looked closely at those cobblestones in the lighthouse, they all had many, many colors in each stone. Do you think he does each one individually, or do you think he does like this color in every one? You know what I mean? And then goes to the next color and puts that in every one. I don't know. Just curious. Oh goodness. So yeah, so I'm not looking for I'm looking forward to Maddie being here, but I'm not looking forward to Maddie living with me. Maddie is a slob, and it's going to be a nightmare. It's just, it's going to be a nightmare. Her and Nate are going to fight over the bathroom in the morning because, yes, we have 3 bathrooms, but one of them is Jeff and I's master bath, which nobody uses but Jeff and I. The other one is just a half bath, so it just has a, a toilet and a sink. The other one is Nate's bathroom, which he's now going to have to share with Maddie. So I'm going to have the two of them trying to get ready in the morning at the same time. And Nate's 14, so he's at that age where he's got to look good for his girlfriend or whatever. So he's, going to be in the bathroom trying to get ready at the same time Maddie's trying to get ready for work. It's going to be like a flashback to when the girls were in high school. And I just don't know how it's going to go. Don't know how it's going to go. But I guess Jeff and Maddie and Austin went over to Grandma's house on Friday. Jeff took the day off yesterday, which, okay, you guys, you know how I always, complain about Jeff taking the day off work. I guess I got to stop doing that because I guess I'm pushing his buttons with that. Because he was like, God, I feel like I can't even take a day off work. Every time I want to take the day off, all you do is complain about it and tell me I never go to work. So I'm hurting his feelings by giving him grief when he wants to take a day off. So I guess I need to stop doing that. So he took the day off yesterday and he went over to Grandma's house with Maddie and Austin to talk about all the work that they need to do. So the house has all plaster walls. It needs new wiring, which means the plaster walls have to come down because the wiring goes in the walls, right? It needs new flooring. Guess what kind of flooring is in the kitchen and in the pantry? Asbestos tiles. So they have to do asbestos abatement to get those tiles out. Guess what kind of paint is on the walls? Lead-based paint. So we're talking about, this is going to be a big, big, big renovation. A huge renovation project. That the scope of which they did not know that they were going to be undertaking when they decided to do this. But they're young and, they're still excited about it, so good for them. Yeah, right, Jody, 14-year-old boys. Oh, Kaden, she's moving in because she is moving into her grandma's house, which is here in town. And so she started looking for a new job up here and got a new job sooner than she expected. So the house isn't ready to move into, but she has to start her new job. So she's moving in here until the house is ready to move into, which is going to be a few months. Hopefully, that's all it's going to be, is a few months. But, it'll be nice to have the company too, I guess. But she'll be at work all day. Her work hours are going to be 9 to 6. She's working at a car dealership doing much the same thing as what she has been doing, which is title work. So, something she's comfortable with and knows how to do. She had a few other interviews and was offered a couple other positions, but they were working with the public, and she doesn't necessarily want to do anything where she has to work with the public, so she opted to take the job at the dealership doing the title work. And hey, whatever floats your boat, right? Bye, Margaret. Thank you. I thought the wearing one in the bathtub. That's funny. Some things are better left set in your head. Yeah, right? Exactly. Yep. Unfortunately, I lack that. Sean said it seems like he does them individual. He did say that it was tedious. Yeah. It seems like that would be extremely tedious work to do all of those cobblestones. I don't know. In listening to him talk and talk about his processes of working on things, I don't know that I would have the patience for that. I mean, I need to see some immediate results. Cuz like with diamond painting, you can do a section of it and look at it and say, "Oh, look, there's chicken." If you're painting an entire canvas, I don't know, it just seems so daunting. Starting with nothing, it just seems so daunting. I just don't have that creative mind. I lack that creative talent to be able to envision something and then put it down on canvas or paper or in song or anything like that. I have a deep respect for people who are creative. I just could not. It just seems like it's scary. It says actually to me it sounds scary to have to do that. Oh, Kaden, me and Maddie, we were working on Moment on Memory Lane, but I stole it, and now I'm doing it as a gift to her, and she doesn't know that I stole it. I surreptitiously stole it from her house, from her closet in her craft room, and now I need to hide it before she comes up here tomorrow. And I'm going to give it to her as a gift, a housewarming gift, because it was supposed to be for her grandma. So that's what I'm going to do with that one. So has anybody been ordering anything from Oraloa? I was on their site yesterday. Mindy and I were talking about Oraloa for some reason, and I was on their site and I saw a few things that are pretty darn cute that I might like to try. I did order from them. Gosh, it's got to be probably about a year ago now. I placed an order from them. And their quality seemed quite good. I was very happy with the quality of their kits. But for a while there was just no content that really interested me. But I did see a couple that I was interested in when I was on there yesterday. So I might be making an order from them coming up here. I think they're Canadian. Aren't they a Canadian company? Oh, yes. Mindy's Whip and Chat will be full of stories this week. I know Mindy. I know one of the stories Mindy's going to tell in her Whip and Chat this week, and it's going to be a doozy. You better tune in. Do not miss Mindy's Whip and Chat this week because it is going to be a great story. I still can't believe it. Yes, their drills are very, very nice, aren't they, Jody? Their drills are very nice. Yep, I'm excited. I'm gonna place an order from them coming up real soon. Oh, they have a warehouse in Canada and France. Okay. Okay. Judy says, in the Cal on Friday, you said you were thinking about the Alpine or waffle stitch for the bag. Alpine or not waffle. What's the one we were thinking of, Mindy? Not waffle. The one that's single crochet, double crochet. Why can't I think of the name of the damn stitch? Moss stitch. That's right. Alpine or moss. Yep. Thank you guys. Wow. Woo. What is wrong with me? My brain is in the clouds tonight. I swear. I really, really feel like I am not myself tonight. I don't know if anybody else can tell, but I'm really feeling like I'm just not in my best of. I'm just not on it. Other than my henna paws joke, I'm really off. Oh goodness. Oh, we're gonna make a bag, Jody. After we're done with this shawl for the crochet along, we're gonna do a bag, and I've been working on a prototype for it. And it's gonna be a kind of a unique bag. It is going to be a bag that is foldable onto itself and then buttons up, so it ends up being, small, so you could carry it in your purse and then unbutton it and unfold it, and then you've got like a shopping bag or a project bag or whatever. um and we're just kind of flying by the seat of our pants with it, and we're not working from a pattern at all, and I'm been working to kind of come up with some sort of a prototype for it, and I've been experimenting with different stitches to see what would work best. Okay, yeah, Judy, give a you know who does the Alpine stitch, and but I don't know if she has a tutorial just for Alpine stitch, but she very well might. Is and I like the way she explains it, is TCD DIY. Um she does Alpine. That's where I got the idea to use that stitch. Was I was doing a sweater pattern, and she uses the Alpine stitch for part of it. And the reason why I like it for a bag is that it's a very dense stitch. So anything you have that's small wouldn't, fall out of the bag, because it's a very dense stitch. So yeah. Oh, I started a new crochet project today. Because of course I did. I found somebody posted on Facebook that they had made, it's a Lion Brand pattern, free on their website, and it's called the Festival. Oh, I don't have my phone in here, so I can't show you. Oh, tonight's story is good too. Is that the story of the? Yes, TCD DIY, Mindy. That's correct. Yep. Actually, you could do that bag in any weight you wanted to, Jennifer, because the only difference it would make would be how big your bag would end up. The yarn that Mindy and I are going to use is a 3-weight yarn, and we're only using it because we had bought the yarn when we were at the yarn crawl last summer, and we bought it in 3 different colors. So what we're going to do with it is we're going to do a block of the bag is going to be one of the colors. Then there's going to be a small block of the way of the bag that's going to be a blend of that color and the next color. And then a block of the bag will be the next color, and then a block of the bag will be a blend of that color and the third color. And then the top of the bag will be the third color. So it'll kind of be like a gradient uh, color to it. So if you wanted, you could do it at all one color if you wanted to. You could do it in stripes if you wanted to. You could do it any way you want, but that's the way we're going to do it, is a gradient of 3 colors. So if you wanted to do it like us, if you wanted to have 3 colors, and like I said, it could be in any weight that you want, it would just make, the only difference it would make would be the size of your bag when you're finished. In fact, the ones I'm practicing on, I'm just using leftover 4-weight yarn that I have in my stash to do the practice bags. But yeah, so anyways, I started it's called a festival sweater. Festival. Good night, Dawn. Festival. I guess it is getting to be about that time, isn't it? I just want to show you the sweater that I'm making, and then I'll let you guys go. Because I actually got quite a ways with it. But I need to get back and work. Where is the safari? Oh, there it is. I want to show you this. I got Jeff's iPad here, so I don't have it. Oh, here it is. But that's what I'm making. Isn't that cute? It's in 5 colors, and it's a really interesting stitch. The way you make these pyramids right here is really cool, because you single crochet, and then you chain 6, and then single crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook, and then do a half double crochet in the next chain, and then a double crochet in the next 2 chains, and that makes that kind of triangle, and it's really cool. Very cool. Yeah, for sure. You could use a cake or striping or anything fun for that bag. Yeah. Anything. Yeah, I like her. She does a lot of cabling. Cabling is kind of her thing at TCD DIY. And Maddie has made 2 of her cable knit sweaters, and they're very, very pretty. Maybe next weekend, if she's here with me, we can show you. She was just finishing she was here yesterday, and she was just finishing her last sleeve on the sweater, and then she'll be done with the one cable knit sweater that she's making. Oh yeah, definitely, Judy. The sugar wheel cotton would definitely work for the bag, for sure. That would be perfect, actually. Ooh, they had that at the clearance. I hope they're not discontinuing that. I love that sugar wheel cotton. That's one of my favorites. I am so disappointed. You know, the Hobby Lobby clearance, I didn't make it there for it. But I'm a little, it's exciting that everybody got such good deals, but it scares me a little bit that so many of their yarns are going to be discontinued, because I loved that Hobby Lobby had such a vast selection of yarn. And so it's a little bit sad that a lot of those yarns aren't going to be available anymore. I hope Sugar Wheel isn't going to be one of them that isn't available because I really did like that yarn. But anyway, I have been sitting here talking to you guys for a while now, so I probably should get going, even though I just poured all these drills in this tray. Um, my back is absolutely killing me sitting here. So I'm gonna get up off this chair. I've been sitting here since 6:30 because I made my video and then I watched Mindy's live sitting in here. I'm gonna go get back out to my recliner with a heating pad for a while. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. And like I said, there's going to be a video coming out either tonight or probably tomorrow. I probably won't do it tonight. With the details and everything for the event starting April 1st. So I hope everybody will join in for that and it will be a good time. So have a great rest of your weekend, everybody. I love you and thank you for coming and I will talk to you soon. All right. Good night, everyone.